beyond borders.
Hello and welcome. We are live from New Delhi. You're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi hails women power in his last episode of monthly radio broadcast Mann Ki Baat ahead of the general elections, urges first-time voters to exercise their franchising. Republican Donald Trump easily defeats Nikki Haley in her home state, South Carolina primary. Haley vows to stay in the race. And US-British forces strike Houthi targets in Yemen in a fresh wave of attacks. Houthi spokesman vows to confront escalation with more military operations. All right, news in detail now. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded the strength and influence of women in Indian society during his last monthly radio broadcast, Mann Ki Baat, before the general elections. He emphasized the importance of women's empowerment and encouraged first-time voters to participate in the upcoming elections and exercise their democratic right to vote.
Narendra Modi addressed the nation on Akashvani, discussing various issues concerning the people of the country in his Mann Ki Baat. Recognizing the strength of women, Prime Minister Narendra Modi stated that the success of women in various fields is highly inspiring.
आज भारत की नारी शक्ति हर क्षेत्र में प्रगति की नई ऊंचाइयों को छू रही है। कुछ वर्ष पहले तक किसने सोचा था कि हमारे देश में गांव में रहने वाली महिलाएं भी ड्रोन उड़ाएंगी, लेकिन आज ये संभव हो रहा है। आज तो गांव-गांव में ड्रोन दीदी की इतनी चर्चा हो रही है, हर किसी की जुबान पर नमो ड्रोन दीदी ये चल पड़ा है। हर कोई इसके विषय में चर्चा कर रहा है।
Emphasizing the significance of technology in wildlife conservation, Prime Minister highlighted that the government's efforts in recent years have led to an increase in the number of tigers in the country.
इस वर्ष वर्ल्ड वाइल्ड लाइफ डे की थीम में डिजिटल इनोवेशन को सर्वोपरि रखा गया है। चंद्रपुर जिले में इंसान और बाघों के संघर्ष को कम करने के लिए आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस की मदद ली जा रही है। यहाँ गांव और जंगल की सीमा पर कैमरे लगाए गए हैं। जब भी कोई बाघ गांव के करीब आता है, तब एआई की मदद से स्थानीय लोगों को मोबाइल पर अलर्ट मिल जाता है।
Referring to the Melghat Tiger Reserve in the Indian western state of Maharashtra, Prime Minister Modi commended the efforts of the tribal families residing in Khatkali village near the reserve.
महाराष्ट्र के मेलघाट टाइगर रिजर्व के पास खटकली गांव में रहने वाले आदिवासी परिवारों ने सरकार की मदद से अपने घर को होम स्टे में बदल दिया है। ये उनकी कमाई का बहुत बड़ा साधन बन रहा है। इसी गांव में रहने वाले कोरकू जनजाति के प्रकाश जामकर जी ने अपनी 2 हेक्टेयर जमीन पर 7 कमरों वाला होम स्टे तैयार किया है।
Prime Minister emphasized that India's beauty lies in its diversity and the myriad colors of culture. Recognizing the hard work of Mohammad Mansha from Gandarwal, Jammu and Kashmir, Prime Minister praised his efforts in preserving the Gojri language.
जम्मू कश्मीर में गांदरबल के मोहम्मद मानशाह जी पिछले 3 दशकों से गोजरी भाषा को संरक्षित करने के प्रयासों में जुटे रहे हैं। वे गुजर बकरवाल समुदाय से आते हैं, जो कि एक जनजातीय समुदाय है। चुनौतियों के बीच उनका अपनी भाषा को संरक्षित करने का संकल्प दृढ़ हुआ।
Prime Minister also touched upon various issues, including the use of AI in farming and weather forecasting. Syed Afzarul Hassan for DD India.
And India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi began his power-packed day of Gujarat visit from Dwarka, where he dedicated to the nation Sudarshan Setu, connecting Okha mainland and Bet Dwarka island, built at a cost of around Rs 980 crore. It is the longest cable-stayed bridge in the country of around 2.3 kilometers. Sudarshan Setu will ease the transportation and significantly reduce the time of devotees travelling between Dwarka and Bet Dwarka. Before the bridge's construction, pilgrims had to rely on boat transport to reach Bet Dwarka. This iconic bridge will also serve as a major tourist attraction of Devbhoomi Dwarka. And with an aim to inaugurate projects transforming and boosting connectivity, ensuring better healthcare and education in Dwarka and Rajkot, Prime Minister dedicated pipeline project at Wadinar involving replacement of existing offshore lines, abandoning existing pipeline and manifold. Prime Minister also dedicated Rajkot Okha, Rajkot Jaisalmer Somnath and Jaisalmer Vanschalia rail electrification projects to the nation. Prime Minister laid the foundation stone of several road projects, a thermal power station at Jamnagar, among others. And PM Modi went underwater in the deep sea and prayed at the site where the submerged city of Dwarka is. This experience offered a rare and profound connection to India's spiritual and historical roots. Dwarka is the ancient city linked closely with Lord Sri Krishna and was a hub of grandeur and prosperity. PM Modi paid homage to Dwarka, a city that continues to captivate imaginations with its rich cultural and spiritual legacy. Underwater, he offered peacock feathers also as tribute. And Prime Minister of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Indian Minister in fact of Petroleum and Natural Gas and Housing and Urban Affairs, Hardeep Singh Puri, laid the foundation stone for HPCL's gas network in the Gauda-Dumka geographical area for PNG and CNG in Devghar, Jharkhand. He has also inaugurated India's oil PNG under the city gas distribution project. The implications of these projects are profound, promising to revolutionize the lives of residents and catalyze growth across commercial and industrial sectors.
So we have seen in other places, in the metropolitan cities, it's easy to get the CNG and the PNG gas collection, but now we are seeing it reaching it to the heartland also.
We are now in a situation where I think in the last round of bidding, we've covered 100%. And we've also taken a decision, if I remember correctly, that we are also going to take it now to the island territories. As I mentioned, this gas is of two kinds. One comes from crude oil, which is refined and distributed in cylinders. That also our network today, from 2014, it has gone up to 14 crores, it has gone up to 32 crores and is rising. But in addition, our idea is to take piped natural gas to every household in the country. That reduces the cost, where with the greater availability of gas, the gas available to households, which is 20% cheaper, by coming in direct, will become even cheaper. Right. Honorable Prime Minister's not effort, his resolve is to make all these utilities available to the consumer at the most affordable price.
You mentioned tier 2, tier 3 cities coming up, and also they are coming cheaper, like the CNG and the PNG, but that's what getting there. It's also cheaper in that sense.
No, it will get cheaper, because what happens is that you started with the cylinder gas. I mean, where is the refinery? From the refinery, it has to be taken to different points. So we are making that cheaper also. Right. Issue, I mean, today India, Bharat is one place where in the last 2 years the price of energy has actually come down. Now the energy which comes into your kitchen for your basic needs, and I said, earlier you were dependent on coal, on firewood,
on other toxic materials. Look at the impact, positive impact this has on the health budget and on the lives of ordinary people.
So that was the India's Minister for Petroleum and Natural Gas telling us that it is imperative that these initiatives taken forward, and the tier 2 and the tier 3 cities are getting benefit of this. With our person level, this is Tapash Bhattacharya for GD India from Delhi.
And India has seen a significant surge in medical tourism with a 66% increase in foreign travelers seeking medical treatment in 2021. India offers world-class healthcare at low cost as compared to developed nations. In 2020, 183,000 tourists came and number went up to 304,000 in 2021 and over 1.4 million tourists visited in 2022. India also ranked 10th in medical tourism index. The growing numbers are testament to progress of India in global healthcare ecosystem, with the country rightly positioning itself as preferred destination for medical value travel or medical tourism for modern as well as traditional treatments and rejuvenation. India also offers therapies based on traditional medicine like yoga, Ayurveda and Unani. India is also a favorable destination to conduct trials with large and diverse patient pool. And Nepal's Foreign Minister Narayan Prasad Saud, accompanied by his wife, visited Ayodhya and worshipped Ramlala at the iconic Ram temple. During the visit, the Foreign Minister remarked that the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya holds immense significance as a pilgrimage site. He further mentioned that in addition to Ayodhya, efforts are underway to strengthen cultural ties with Nepal's Pashupatinath and Varanasi's Baba Vishwanath. The Foreign Minister of Nepal highlighted the profound cultural relationship between India and Nepal, emphasizing its depth not only between the two governments but also among the people. Now let's take a look at other stories making news today. A fact-finding team was arrested on Sunday by the West Bengali police after they were prevented from going to Sandesh Khali. The team is composed of a former judge, a bureaucrat and members of civil society. The fact-finding team alleges that they were being stopped to hide the truth of Sandesh Khali. Indian Ministry of Education has requested all states and union territories to ensure that the age of admission to grade 1 is 6+ years from 2024-2025 session onwards. This is as per the provisions in the National Education Policy 2020 and the Right of Children to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2009. The Indian Air Force, in a humanitarian mission, deployed its Dornier aircraft at short notice to airlift a team of doctors of Army Hospital. The mission was undertaken to retrieve a liver from Pune to Delhi during the night on 23rd February. The subsequent transplant surgery helped save the life of a veteran officer. Indian Embassy in New York expressed grief over the death of a 27-year-old Indian journalist. Fazil Khan died in a deadly fire incident in New York's Harlem on Friday. The tweet said, Embassy was saddened to learn about death of 27-year-old Indian national Mr. Fazil Khan in an unfortunate fire incident in an apartment building in Harlem, New York. All right, we'll slip into a very short break, but still to come on this edition of DD India Live. Australia's Prime Minister pledges to provide all support needed to assist Victoria State in a days-long wildfire emergency. West African leaders agree to lift economic sanctions imposed on Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea in an effort to push for dialogue to avert political crisis in the region. And Heimer wins big at Screen Actors Guild Awards, boosting Oscar hopes.
Or too much technology, even if it is green? And how does all of this impact human lives?
When we moved into regenerative agriculture, so as Namti for the last 20+ years, we've been doing chemical-free organic agriculture as such.
India's first all-women waste management team as waste collectors, supervisors, drivers and managers. Together, they handle the refuse of an entire Chennai neighborhood.
Jute is actually such a crop that it can fix the atmospheric carbon dioxide, and within 120 days it can absorb 15 tons of carbon dioxide per hectare.
Everything we produce here stays in our community. We don't want to sell our energy to the big companies. We want affordable, climate-friendly electricity for all our citizens.
Welcome back. You're watching DD India Live. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. Saturday was a tough fight for Republican candidate Nikki Haley, as it was the day for the primaries in her home state, South Carolina. However, the results were not what many hoped would be in a state where Haley was the governor for 2 terms. Let's take a look at what's going on in the US elections.
Former US President Donald Trump aced the Republican primaries in the state of South Carolina on Saturday. This was an easy win for Trump, which was also predicted in multiple opinion polls, despite having a litany of criminal charges.
We ran 2 great races, but there's never been a spirit like this, and I just want to say that I have never seen the Republican Party so unified as it is right now. Never been like that. America first. We're putting America first. First of all, my family. Right now, we're a laughing stock all over the world. Our country is going to be respected again, respected like never before.
Republican primary candidate Nikki Haley campaigned excessively in her native state, but only managed to gather 39.2% of the votes. The loss for Haley is also personal, as she had earlier been 2 times governor of South Carolina. However, she outperformed expectations from the opinion polls and insisted on staying in the presidential race.
The younger generation, my children's generation, knows it better than anyone. They deserve better. They deserve leadership. And so I will keep fighting for them and for you and for all of America. Today is not the end of our story. We'll keep fighting for America, and we won't rest until America wins.
Till now, Trump has dominated all 5 contests in the states of Iowa, New Hampshire, Nevada, the US Virgin Islands, and now in Haley's home state.
And Western leaders arrived in Kiev on Saturday in a show of solidarity as the country marked the 2nd anniversary of Russia-Ukraine war. The Prime Ministers of Canada and Italy signed security deals with Ukraine, which has recently suffered setbacks on the eastern front lines. While out on the streets, hundreds of people gathered on Kiev's St. Sofia Square to demand the release of Ukrainian soldiers in Russian captivity. Megumi Lim has more from Kiev.
The Prime Ministers of Italy, Canada and Belgium, along with European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen, arrived in Kiev on Saturday in a show of support for Ukraine as the country enters its 3rd year of full-scale war with Russia. The leaders visited the Hostomel airport, which was the site of intense battles at the start of the invasion as Russian forces tried to capture Kiev. Von der Leyen said Europe will be providing more aid, more ammunition, more air defense systems and more training for Ukraine's troops.
We will open a Defense Innovation Office here in Kyiv. And finally, we keep on working on the security commitments, as we just heard, for Ukraine, all in close cooperation with G7 partners. Of course, the best security guarantee will be the membership in the European Union.
Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni signed a 10-year bilateral security agreement with Zelensky.
The agreement that we signed today is the most complete and important commitment that Italy has made with a non-NATO country. Secondly, I would like to remind you of the reason why it is important for all of us to sign these security agreements, and that is, I believe that security agreements are the best possible precondition for any solution and for any just and lasting peace.
Along with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, who signed a similar deal pledging $2.2 billion in financial and military assistance for this year.
As part of our agreement, we're committing over $3 billion of critical military and financial support to Ukraine in 2024. The new military support builds on what we've provided since 2022 and continue to provide.
Out on the streets, hundreds of people gathered to demand the release of Ukrainian soldiers in Russian captivity. Many of these soldiers were captured in the southern city of Mariupol when it fell to Russian forces during the early weeks of the invasion. Even as countries pledge more support, Ukraine has in recent weeks suffered setbacks on the battlefield. Russia's capture of the devastated eastern city of Avdiivka last week has emboldened Moscow's troops to intensify their attacks all along the 1,000-kilometer-long front line. As Kyiv waits for crucial military aid from the United States, its troops are running out of ammunition, and people in frontline towns are now fearing further Russian advances. Megumi Lim in Kyiv reporting for DD India.
And the US and UK have launched missile strikes against more than a dozen Houthi targets in Yemen in response to the increase in attacks by the terrorist organization on cargo ships. A joint statement from countries said the military action was against 18 Houthi sites across 8 locations in Yemen, including underground weapons and missile storage facilities, air defense systems, radars and a helicopter. The strikes have so far failed to halt the Houthis' attacks, which have upset global trade and raised shipping rates. The counter-offensive came after the Iran-backed military group carried on an airstrike on a US-flagged owned and operated oil tanker in the Gulf of Aden. Australia's Prime Minister Anthony Albanese pledged on Sunday to provide whatever support was needed to assist Victoria State in days-long wildfire emergency that has razed homes after authorities warned extreme heat could fan the blazes this week.
This is a very difficult time, and over this period we've seen floods, we've seen bushfires, we've seen heat waves, we've seen these events that have had a real impact on Australians. It's a reminder of the need for us to be vigilant, for us to continue to work and act on the threat that is climate change, with an increased number of extreme weather events and increased intensity of those events.
And the wildfire emergency has killed livestock, destroyed 6 homes and forced more than 2,000 people to leave western towns and head to the city of Ballarat in west of the state capital Melbourne. Australia is in the grips of an El Nino weather pattern, which is typically associated with extreme phenomena such as wildfires, cyclones and droughts. More than 15 bushfires were burning in Victoria on Sunday, with the most serious blaze ranked at the second highest danger rating near several remote towns, according to the state's emergency authority. Around 1,000 firefighters supported by more than 50 aircraft have battled the fires since they started. The last 2 bushfire seasons in Australia have been subdued compared with the 2019-20 Black Summer, when bushfires destroyed an area the size of Turkey, killing 33 people and an estimated 3 billion animals. Now, leaders of the regional bloc ECOWAS have agreed to lift economic sanctions imposed on Niger, Mali, Burkina Faso and Guinea in an effort to push for dialogue to avert political crisis in the region. And the group is also calling for the military-led Niger government to release the toppled leader Mohamed Bazoum, who remains jailed inside presidential palace in Niamey. Niger, Mali and Burkina Faso also declared their intention to permanently withdraw from the bloc, but ECOWAS has called for the 3 states to return. Now, historical drama Oppenheimer yet again won the top honor, this time at the Screen Actors Guild Awards on Saturday. Helmed by Christopher Nolan, Oppenheimer took the trophy for the Best Movie Cast at the honors handed out by members of the SAG-AFTRA Actors Union. Irish actor Cillian Murphy, who played scientist J. Robert Oppenheimer, was named Best Movie Actor, and his co-star Robert Downey Jr. landed the Best Supporting Actor prize. Oppenheimer also dominated recently held BAFTA Awards 2024. Star of Martin Scorsese's historical drama Killers of the Flower Moon, Lily Gladstone won the Best Actress trophy. And Divine Joy Randolph won Supporting Actress for her role in The Holdovers. And in television category, restaurant dramaturgy The Bear claimed Best Cast in a TV Comedy, and HBO's Succession secured Best TV Drama Cast for its final season. The Bear's leading stars Jeremy Allen White and Ayo Edebiri bagged Best Acting Honours in the comedy series. Australian actress Elizabeth Debicki, who played Princess Diana in the Netflix royal drama series The Crown, won Best TV Drama Actress, while The Last of Us star Pedro Pascal was named Best Actor in a TV drama.
Thank you for this.
Sports now will start with cricket. India fought back to restrict England's lead to only 166 runs at tea interval on day 3 of the 4th Test in Ranchi. England were 120 for the loss of 5 wickets at the interval. Ravichandran Ashwin wrecked England's top order. He dismissed Duckett and Oli Pop of successive deliveries, but Zach Crawley launched a counter-attack to keep the home side on the mat, but Ashwin struck back and trapped Root in front. Johnny Bairstow joined Crawley's party, but Kuldeep Yadav troubled batters on arrival, and he accounted for Crawley, and Stokes eventually had the stroke of the tea interval. Earlier, Dhruv Jurel led India's spirited rearguard action with a brilliant 90 before the hosts were all out for 303 at lunch, replying to England's first innings total of 353 on day 3 of the 4th Test on Sunday. India are 2-1 ahead in the 5-match series. Well, that's all for this edition of DD India Live, but do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can connect with us on Facebook, X, formerly Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. From all of us here in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.